Here are the top stories for today, January 2nd, 2020. President Duterte urges Filipinos to do better and aim higher for a better life this new year. The Philippines plans to stop sending workers to Kuwait following the killing of a Filipina domestic helper. The number of families affected by Typhoon Ursula exceeds the 600,000 mark. And the DENR says it is more determined to complete the rehabilitation of Manila Bay. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Our top story for today, President Rodrigo Duterte is encouraging all Filipinos to seek improvements and aspire for a better life this year. In his message for New Year on Tuesday, Duterte said the new year is indeed a time to reflect on lessons learned, and it is also an opportune time to do better and aim higher. The chief executive expressed confidence that with the guidance and grace of the Almighty and the enduring spirit of bayanihan and malasakit, Filipinos will enjoy a stronger and brighter future. He also promised that his administration would double its efforts to achieve its goals of bringing a comfortable life to all Filipinos. PCOO Secretary Martin Andanar earlier assured the public that the policies and programs of the Duterte administration will further give beneficial gains and advantages to Filipinos in 2020 as well in the succeeding years. Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana on Tuesday assured that the goal of the security sector, which is to stop the rebellion in Marawi, Lanao del Sur, and other areas in Mindanao, have been achieved. This as the martial law expired on the island effective midnight on December 31st. Martial law in Mindanao was first declared on May 23, 2017, a day after the ISIS-affiliated Maute group attacked Marawi with the objective of establishing a caliphate in Mindanao. It was extended from July 24 to December 31 of 2017. Two other extensions were granted by Congress for the entire years of 2018 and 2019. Lorenzana said the president has decided to allow martial law to lapse and not ask for another extension anymore upon the recommendation of the security sector. Lorenzana assured that the AFP will continue to safeguard the hard-earned peace and stability in the region. Meanwhile, AFP spokesperson Marine Brigadier General Edgar Arevalo urges local chief executives to continue their robust partnership with government security agencies. The Philippine National Police said the recent New Year revelry is record-breaking as there were no recorded deaths and injuries from stray bullets and illegal discharge of firearms. PNP spokesperson Brigadier General Bernard Banak said, as of the first working hour of New Year's Day, the PNP recorded only 81 firecracker-related injuries, mostly self-injuries by violators of the firecracker ban. Although there were 3 reported stray bullet incidents, these did not result in injuries. Meanwhile, 21 persons were arrested for illegal discharge of firearms and 44 others for firecracker-related offenses. 14 of them were civilians, 1 PNP personnel, 2 AFP personnel, 1 KAFCU militiaman, and 3 security guards. 7 persons were injured on these separate incidents. According to the Department of Health, firecracker-related injuries decreased by 35% nationwide. From December 1st to the early morning of January 1st, the DOH recorded 164 firecracker-related injuries, lower than 251 cases reported during the same period last year. Health Secretary Francisco Duque III said the order limiting the use of firecrackers in the country has an impact in lowering the firecracker-related injuries. The death of Filipino overseas worker Jeneline Villavende sparked an outrage among Filipinos. Janice Cave has this story.
The Labor Department will issue an order anytime soon for a partial deployment ban of Filipino workers to Kuwait. Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello III said a complete ban will take effect if justice is not served for Jeneline Villavende, the overseas Filipino worker who died allegedly in the hands of her Kuwaiti employer. The suspect is now detained. Malacanang expresses its outrage over the death of Villavende. In a statement, presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo said Villavende's death clearly violates the 2018 pact signed between the Philippines and Kuwait governments to protect the overseas Filipino workers' rights. Panelo said the DFA is closely monitoring Villavende's case. The Philippine Overseas Labor Office is also keeping an eye on the results of the forensic investigation while coordinating with the family of Villavende for the repatriation of her remains. The Overseas Workers Welfare Administration has been directed to provide burial and livelihood assistance as well as scholarship grants to the family members of Villavende. Meanwhile, the Federation of Free Workers, or FFW, on Wednesday urged the government to review the bilateral agreement with Kuwait following the death of another OFW in the Gulf nation. FFW President Sonny Matula asked the Duterte administration to impose an indefinite ban on the deployment of household service workers to Kuwait. He said the deaths of Joanna de Mafelis, Irma Avila Edloy, Josie Loren, and Villavende, who all died due to abuse sustained while they worked as domestic helpers abroad, were compelling reasons to justify the call for a temporary deployment ban of household service workers in Kuwait and some countries. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Still to come, the number of families affected by Typhoon Ursula exceeds the 600,000 mark. Authorities report a peaceful celebration of the New Year in Central Luzon and other regions. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Sa kalagitnaan ng termino ni Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte, kasama niya ang bawat mamayang Pilipino sa pagkamit ng tunay na pagbabago. Ngayong 2019, higit pang pinagbutihan ng Pangulo ang paglilingkod sa sambayanan upang isulong ang kanyang mga adhikain para sa ikauunlad ng bansang Pilipinas.
Ito ang Duterte on Duty. Ulat sa ginagawa ng Presidente.
Patuloy ang Administrasyong Duterte sa pagtulong sa lahat ng maralitang Pilipino upang mabigyan sila ng pagkakataong maiangat ang antas ng kanilang pamumuhay. Sa paglagda ni Pangulong Duterte sa Magna Carta of the Poor bilang ganap na batas, tiyak na magkakaroon ng sapat na pagkain, disenteng trabaho, libreng edukasyon, maayos na pabahay at maayos na kalusugan ang lahat ng mga mahihirap na Pilipino. Pinatibay at pinalawak din ang serbisyong hatid ng Pantawid Pamilya Pilipino Programs. Abot kamay na rin ng bawat Pilipinong consumer ang pinababang presyo ng kuryente pagkatapos nagdaan ng Pangulo ang Murang Kuryente Act. Dahil sa pagsisikap ng gobyerno na paunlarin ang pamumuhay sa bansa, bumaba ang bilang ng mga pamilyang nakakaranas ng gutom at libo-libong Pilipino ang nabigyan ng maayos na tahanan. Higit pang pinaigting ng pamahalaan ang kampanya para wakasan ang child labor sa bansa sa pamagitan ng pagtatag sa National Council Against Child Labor. Upang matulungang mabigyan ng trabaho ang mga TESDA graduate, pinangunahan ni Pangulong Duterte ang paglulunsad sa web-based employment platform na 911 TESDA. Bukod sa pagsugpo sa kahirapan, hindi din matitinag si Pangulong Duterte sa patuloy na paglaban sa katiwalian sa bansa. Tumaas ang ranggo ng Pilipinas sa Global Corruption Index. Ito na ang pinakamataas na naging pwesto ng bansa simula 2013. Bunga ito ng seryosong pagsawata ng Pangulo sa iba't ibang klase ng korupsyon sa mga sangay ng pamahalaan. Pinaramdam niya ang kanyang bagsik ng pagsisibaki niya sa pwesto ang mga opisyales at kawani ng pamahalaan na napatunayang sangkot sa korupsyon. Taong bayan na rin mismo ang nagsalita at naghayag ng suporta sa pakikipagdigma ng Pangulo sa iligal na droga sa kabila ng kaliwatkanang batikos tungkol dito. Kung kaya patuloy ring naninindigan ng Pangulo para sa Pilipinas na malaya sa droga at krimen. Sa nakalipas na 3 taon, libo-libong barangay na ang dineklarang drug-free. Bilyong-bilyong halaga ng droga na ang nasabat ng otoridad. Kasabay nito ang pagbaba ng bilang ng mga pamilyang biktima ng krimen.
The number of families affected by Typhoon Ursula, which battered the country at the height of the Christmas season, has climbed to 600,142. According to the NDRRMC, as of 6 a.m. on Thursday, the death toll remained at 50, injured at 362, and 5 still missing. Around 19,553 families, or 77,989 individuals, are now being sheltered in 548 evacuation centers, while 13,534 families, or 55,918 persons, are being aided outside. Houses damaged by Ursula are placed at 428,781. 106,722 houses were totally damaged, and 322,009 only partially damaged. Damage to infrastructure and agriculture were placed at 1.2 billion pesos. A 15.56-kilometer rail-based transit system aimed to link parts of eastern Metro Manila and the province of Rizal has moved closer to completion. The approved 59.3 billion pesos MRT-4 project is calendared for construction from 2021 to 2025 to be funded by an official development assistance from the Asian Development Bank and the DOTR as proponent. The MRT-4, which is scheduled for operation in 2025, aims to address the worsening traffic condition and inadequate road capacities in the densely populated areas of eastern Metro Manila, to include parts of Quezon City, San Juan City, Mandaluyong City, Pasig City, and the Ortigas Center. The line will also link eastern Metro Manila with the neighboring municipalities of Cainta and Taytay in Rizal. The Philippine economy remained one of the best performers in Asia after rebounding from an initial slowdown in the first 2 quarters of 2019 amid obstacles reflecting the government spending catch-up and easing inflation. National Economic and Development Authority Director General Ernesto Pernia said the goal of advancing to an upper middle income status is going to be surer next year. For this, he said, the country has to make sure that it finishes its major infrastructure projects by 2023. The Philippine gross domestic product accelerated by 6.2% in the 3rd quarter, making it the 2nd fastest growing major economy after Vietnam and ahead of China, India, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Thailand. It recorded a 5.8% growth rate in the first 3 quarters of 2019, slightly below the lower end of the government's 6 to 6.5% full-year growth rate. Meanwhile, the average inflation to date is still within the government's 2 to 4% target band. Authorities say that the New Year's Eve celebrations in various regions were generally peaceful despite reports of sporadic crimes and violations of gun and firecracker laws. More on this from Ruth Abby Gita Carlos.
The Police Regional Office 3 disclosed on Wednesday that there were no reported casualties due to firecracker and stray bullets in the welcoming of the New Year in Central Luzon. The PRO3 said, although there were 60 firecracker-related injuries recorded during the period, it is lower compared to the 90 reported incidents during the same period last year. He attributed this achievement to the series of inspections conducted by the PRO3 Command Group and staff, as well as the massive information drive and campaign on the need to regulate or avoid the use of firecrackers and other pyrotechnic devices. In Western Visayas, the Police Regional Office 6 assessed the celebration of the New Year's Eve as generally peaceful and achieved the region's target to record 0 major incident this Yuletide season. Last year, the region recorded 3 stray bullet incidents with 2 persons injured and 1 arrested for indiscriminate firing, and a total of 23 petty crimes. The achievements of the regional office were attributed to the enhanced managing police operations strategy and the one-strike policy, among others. Meanwhile, The police regional office in Region 10 has reported 0 incident of firecracker-related injuries as well as indiscriminate firing during the New Year revelries. This despite the seizure of illegal firecrackers and pyrotechnics by the various police units around northern Mindanao. The PRO-10 described the New Year celebration as peaceful and injury-free, thanking the public for cooperating with authorities. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Ruth Abigita Carlos.
Up next, the DENR says it is more determined to complete the rehabilitation of Manila Bay. And Manila celebrates a shorter Thanksgiving procession for Quiapo's Black Nazarene. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Napagbago ng pamahalaan ang mga dating lulong sa droga. Sila'y tumalikod sa paggamit ng bawal na gamot at sumailalim sa mga programang makakatulong sa kanila upang bumalik sa pagiging mabuting mamamayan ng bansa. Tuloy-tuloy ang pagsasagawa ng mga proyekto at programa katulad ng Oplan Tokhang upang tuluyan ng mapuksa ang suliranin sa droga. Nariyan din ang Barangay Anti-Drug Abuse Councils, Rehabilitasyon, Balay Silangan, Yakap Bayan Program at PNP Recovery and Wellness Program. Pinaigting rin ng pamahalaan ang mga prevention campaign na may layuning dagdagan at pahusayin ang kaalaman ng mga kabataan kung paano makakaiwas sa paggamit ng mga ipinagbabawal na droga. Bagamat maraming balakid sa pagsulong ng Pilipinas tungo sa kaunlaran, nakita ngayong taon ang patuloy na pag-angat ng ekonomiya ng bansa. Nitong pangatlong quarter ng 2019, lumago ang ekonomiya ng 6.2%. Noong Oktubre, bumagsak sa 0.8% ang inflation rate sa bansa na siyang pinakamabagal na inflation rate simula noong Mayo ng 2016. Patunay ito na epektibo ang mga ipinatupad na hakbang at polisiya ng gobyerno para mapababa ang presyo ng mga pangunahing bilihin. Umakyat din ang ranggo ng Pilipinas sa ginawang report ng World Bank. Sa naturang report, humusay ang bansa sa usapin ng pagsisimula ng negosyo, pagproseso ng mga permit at pagprotekta sa mga malilit na negosyante. Kasabay ng paglago ng ekonomiya ng bansa ay ang paglaki ng kumpiyansa ng mga investors na magnegosyo sa Pilipinas. Bumagsak ang unemployment rate sa bansa, bunga ng paglikha ng pamahalaan ng sapat na trabaho at kabuhayan para sa lumalaking populasyon. Sa kauna-unahang pagkakataon, kinilala ang Pilipinas bilang isang innovation achiever. Natukoy rin ang Pilipinas bilang isa sa mga bansang pinakamatiwasay, mabuhay at magtrabaho. Upang palakasin ang sektor ng agrikultura, pagandahin ang produksyon nito at matulungan ang mga magsasakang Pilipino, nagbuhos ng puhunan at atensyon si Pangulong Duterte sa agrikultura ng bansa. Sinulong ng Presidente ang reforma sa polisiya sa agrikultura sa paglagda sa Rice Tarification Law para pababain ang presyo ng bigas para sa mamamayan. Pinalakas din ang agribusiness sa bansa gamit ang Sagip Saka Act na tutulong sa mga magsasaka at mangingisda na mapaunlad ang kanilang kabuhayan. Sa pagsasabata sa Philippines Fisheries Profession Act, inaasahan din ang pag-unlad ng sektor ng pangingisda. Bilang dagdag suporta sa mga magsasaka, nagbigay ang pamahalaan ng credit assistance. Dahil sa positibong epekto ng mga proyekto at programa ng pamahalaan, umani ng 2.87% ang agricultural growth sa bansa sa ikatlong quarter ng 2019.
Despite undertaking the extremely difficult task of rehabilitating a heavily polluted body of water, the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, or DENR, has expressed more determination than ever to win the so-called battle for Manila Bay. Secretary Roy Simatu, who chairs the Manila Bay Task Force, said that much has been achieved since the Manila Bay rehabilitation kicked off in January of 2019. He, however, said more needs to be done to achieve the ultimate goal of making it fit again for swimming and recreation. Simatu said the rehabilitation is currently in its first phase, which is the cleanup and water quality monitoring. Since the rehabilitation started in January, close to 70,000 volunteers have collected over 2.3 million kilograms of wastes. The two phases will be relocation and rehabilitation, and education, protection, and sustainment. He said the Manila Bay rehabilitation will remain a top priority of the government until 2022. Chinese President Xi Jinping on Wednesday said China is ready to make unremitting efforts with other countries to build a beautiful future for everyone. In his New Year speech, Xi said China will unswervingly follow the path of peaceful development, safeguard world peace, and promote common development. He expressed willingness to join hands with all countries to build together the Belt and Road Initiative and push forward the building of a community with a shared future. The initiative envisions global connectivity through infrastructure, facilitation of free trade, financial integration, and people-to-people exchanges. In 2019, China hosted the second Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation, attended by different world leaders, including Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte in Beijing. China also hosted the Beijing International Horticultural Exhibition, the Conference on Dialogue of Asian Civilizations, and the second China International Import Expo. Xi said 2020 will be a year of milestone significance as he promised to finish building a moderately prosperous society.
同志们、朋友们、女士们、先生们，2020年就要到了，我在首都北京向大家送上新年的美好祝福，许许多多无怨无悔、亲情奉献的无名英雄，他们以普通人的平凡书写了不平凡的人生。我们愿同世界各国人民携起手来，积极共建“一带一路”，推动构建人类命运共同体，为创造人类美好未来而不懈努力。
In our foreign news, the high-speed railway line connecting Beijing and Zhangjiakou, the co-host of the Beijing 2020 Winter Olympics, went into operation Monday. The smart train G8811 departed from Beijing North Railway Station at around 8:30 a.m. to Zhangjiakou in North China's Hebei province. The railway is 174 kilometers long with 10 stations along the line. With a maximum design speed of 350 kilometers per hour, it will reduce the travel time between Beijing and Zhangjiakou from over 3 hours to 47 minutes. Chongli Railway, a branch line of the Beijing-Zhangjiakou high-speed railway, also went into service Monday. Construction of the high-speed railway lasted around 4 years. The railway underwent test runs earlier this month. The length of China's railroad lines in service has exceeded 139,000 kilometers, including 35,000 kilometers of high-speed rail, ranking first in the world. The city government of Dagupan is offering free tour to its serene and green Dawel River. The Dawel River cruise, which was relaunched on December 27, takes around 45 to 60 minutes. The cruise opens at 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. daily and will be free for the meantime. The cruise opens at 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. with a minimum of 12 to 15 passengers before it leaves the dock. It will traverse the Dawel River up to Watak Mamalingling. The cruise includes a visit to the historic pillar of the then Philippine National Railways used by our national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal. Mayor Mark Brian Lim said the cruise offers a serene and relaxing experience. Lim said the city is also planning to put up a zip line as an added attraction. As 2019 drew to a close, the city of Manila held its Thanksgiving procession for Quiapo's Black Nazarene. This year's procession was shorter, but just as crowded, with about 80,000 devotees paying their respects. Janice Cave has the story.
Every January 9, devotees and pilgrims flock to Quiapo, Manila to celebrate the feast of the Black Nazarene. The event commemorates the traslacion or the transfer of the revered image of the Black Nazarene from Quirino Grandstand to Quiapo Church. In preparation for this celebration, Quiapo Church holds a Thanksgiving procession, which also marks the start of the Novena Mass for the Black Nazarene. The Thanksgiving procession was also shorter, from 10 hours and 22 minutes last December 2018 to 1 hour and 45 minutes on December 30, 2019. The National Capital Region Police Office said it succeeded in shortening the duration of the Black Nazarene Thanksgiving procession on Monday evening following the implementation of a new security scheme. NCRPO Acting Chief Brigadier General Debold Sinas said around 10,000 police officers and other force multipliers were fielded to maintain peace and order. A patrol car was leading the procession, followed by Sinas and his district directors. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Let's take another look at today's biggest stories. President Duterte urges Filipinos to do better and aim higher for a better life this new year. The Philippines plans to stop sending workers to Kuwait following the killing of a Filipina domestic helper. The number of families affected by Typhoon Ursula exceeds the 600,000 mark. And the DENR says it is more determined to complete the rehabilitation of Manila Bay. Thank you for watching another episode of the PNA Newsroom. To check out more news content, check our webpage or head on to the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. For more stories about the government and how it serves Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. We are shown on the pages of the PCOO and its attached agencies. Also, watch us on television on PTV4 and IBC13. And that's your daily dose of the biggest stories that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I am William Theo. Good day.